Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's been doing well. Just got back from the slot car show up in Quakertown, and picked up a few new cars, and I also got some stuff in that I bought off of eBay. I thought I'd show those off a little bit, and we'll see how it goes. First up is a couple of cars that I got off of eBay. These are customs. These will go with the COT cars. So it's the Brian Vickers Red Bull car and the Dale Jarrett UPS car when he was driving for Michael Waltrip. So there's those. And then I also picked up Jeff Burton Citgo Super Guard, and I got a car in white, which at some point I'll figure out exactly whose I want to decal that after. And that's a Taurus body. All right. So these came from the show, and this first one up is, open up the seal here. This is the Kyle Busch Camaro. Pretty sharp looking car. It's not bad looking at all. Cars are pretty nicely detailed. These look like they're actually decals. It's hard to say, but it looks more like a decal than it might be a tampo. It might have just been a glare. There's a glare showing right on the hard edge of that corner. It kind of looked like a seam, but no, these are tampoed. But yeah, that's the Cheddar's sponsored car. So there's that one. Okay. And a couple of these are vintage cars that have been around for a while. But I picked these up at the show. And these are the Javelin Trans Am cars. The first one up, this is the George Follmer car when he was driving for Roy Woods in 1972. Better pick it up or the dogs will be eating it. Trying to eat it anyway. Damn it. Yeah, that's an ex Penske Donahue car that Roy Woods bought, and at least that's how the story goes that I was always understanding anyway. But he drove this in 72 to the Trans Am Championship. The same year, he filled in after Donahue was injured in a Can-Am testing crash and wound up winning the championship in Can-Am the same year. So as far as I know, he's the only person that ever won both championships in the SCCA Pro Series in the same season. And then this one is also a Trans Am champion, albeit this one was from the 1976 season when there was two classes in Trans Am. And the driver's name was Jocko, and the sponsorship on there is the Minnesota Fighting Saints, which was a WHA team. And those will go into my Trans Am cars. Now here's another couple of cars I got off of eBay. And these sleeves, he must have just shoved these into sleeves, because these sleeves don't belong to these cars. But this is the Tony Stewart. Alright, where the hell is my pliers at? This is a Tony Stewart Pontiac. And this will go into my NASCAR 1998 to 2006 group. And then this one's also in the incorrect sleeve and box. I guess he just threw them in whatever he had available. Just fine. I don't really worry about the containers. Some people are really anal about having to have the exact container they came in, blah 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 blah, whatever. I'm not so much worried about that as I am the car that's in it. And this is the Kevin Harvick Goodwrench car. I'm not exactly sure which year this would. It would have had to been, obviously it was after 2001. But I'm not sure the exact year this paint scheme ran. Good looking car. Okay. Now, this next car I got off of Electric Dreams, as they are the dealer for these Hobby Classic cars. And this is the team car to the Regazzoni car that I got a while back. This is the Niki Lauda car from 1975. And this this car here is the 92nd of 100 built. So there's only 100 of these made worldwide. So this will be a collector's item, and I will save the boxes and everything from this. And these are really well detailed cars. I mean, if you look at the detail on this, this is damn near die-cast quality detail. I'm really amazed. What I'm really amazed at is the size of this compared to a modern. I have to wonder if this is even 32nd scale, because this looks tiny in comparison. Now I know these cars were a lot smaller, but let's see if I have anything I can compare it with. All right. So here, I still think this is a little small because these Tyrrells were tiny, and this just looks absolutely minuscule. I mean, this isn't much bigger than my 43rd scale cars, to be perfectly honest. So again, I don't know. They say it's 32nd scale. I'll have to take their word for it, but it looks awfully small. So, also there's different manufacturers. Now, here for comparison is the Hesketh, the same year. So I gotta think this is not 132. I'd have to do actual measurements and see for sure, but this looks to be very, very small. This might be 135th, 135th, 138th, if that's even a scale. But this looks really, really small. Cool ass car though. I like it. And glad I bought it. Accuracy to scale though, I don't know. Maybe these other ones are too big for the scale. Maybe this is the accurate scale model. I don't know. There's limitations, and maybe it's the size of the motors when those were actually made compared to what they can do now with the size of the motors. But anyway, that is the Lauda car. I'm a sucker for the 1975 high airbox F1 cars. I have pretty much, I believe, the entire grid worth of cars and all the different variations as much as I could for the entire season of 1975 of those cars, and they were quite something. Every one of those cars was drastically different design wise. It's not like today where everything pretty much looks the same. It's just decals and whatever. Okay, this last one here I got at the show, and this is a 24th scale. So this is a bigger scale car, and I don't usually get too many of the bigger scale cars, but I am a sucker for the Penske Donahue race cars. And what would be complete if I didn't get the Porsche? And I have a large Penske Donahue collection in 1/18 scale diecast. As all the different cars I believe were made in those scales. And here's some mirrors. I'm not sure what the hell those are. Probably something to hold down the. But anyway, get this box out of the way. Show off the car. So you guys want to see anyways the car. All right. So there's the car. Really nice detail. Again, it amazes me the amount of detail that goes into these cars anymore, because I grew up with AFX and Tyco 440s, and I mean the detail on them for being so small was okay, but they were, realistically they weren't close. I mean, they were limited by the body, or the motors they could put into the bodies. So if they go that small, these bigger cars have a lot more room, so they can put more detail into it. This is a nice floating chassis in it. That'll probably have to do some setup work on it before I run that. But it's got a little angle winder motor in there. It's a tiny ass little motor, 19,000 RPM though, so this is gonna be a screamer. But yeah, the Sunoco Porsche. So another one for the Donahue Penske collection. Mark was a local hero. His home was less than 25 miles away from mine. I met his son David when he was racing the Daytona prototypes over at New Jersey Motorsport Park. Really, really nice guy. I really, can't say enough about how nice and friendly he was. Signed autographs for me. So, I mean, it's nice to see when you meet somebody and they're as nice as you would hope they would be, because I know it's not necessarily the case when you meet some celebrities or sports heroes or figures or whatever. Sometimes you leave a little disappointed. But anyway, that's going to do it for this collection of cars this go around. I have another show coming up in 2 weeks. That's the one that happens up at the Charles Schrin facility outside of Allentown, Bethlehem area. I believe that show is advertised on Dave Kennedy's Slot Car News page. So if you need information, you can probably pull that information off of there if you're local to that show. I was also, when I was at the Quakertown show, there was a guy handing out flyers for another Slot Car diecast models and stuff like that up in Boyertown, PA, and that'll be the following weekend, so that'd be the 11th of April. So, like I said, that'll do it for this show, this video anyway, and I hope everybody's doing well, and keep collecting, guys. Have a good one.